I wanted you to talk about this because obviously we know how passionate you are about animals. And here's what I know about Ebola and dogs. They can get the virus from humans, and they can excrete it, and they could be contagious, though there's not been documentation to my knowledge. What say you on this topic?
Well, yeah, there's been no documentation from what I've read that any dog has passed on Ebola to any human. This is a very emotional subject. I'm an animal rights activist, and I have compassion for the dog, for the human companions of the dog, and for the protesters. But I certainly think that what they should do is take all that energy they're putting into this one dog and put it to the millions of dogs that are killed every year in the United States and around the world because there are no homes for them. The millions and millions of dogs that are roaming the streets starving because nobody does spay and neuter programs, and the 9 billion animals in the United States that are consumed for food every year in factory farm conditions. So we have a double standard. We get emotional about one dog, but then when you talk to somebody about, the way that pigs and cows and chickens are treated in factory farms, I don't want to hear about it.
What's the famous?
The vast majority of animals.
Listen, I agree. Listen, the way humans' brains works has always baffled me. It's like one tragedy is a catastrophe, but 1,000 is an incident. Lonnie, what do you say about what Jane said?
Well, I agree with what you say. I think she made great points. And I also think that what happened in the case in Spain, while a lot of people are upset about it, I think that it had to be done. And I know that dog haters are going to hate me for that. But when it's coming to a choice between human life and animal life, and we don't know at this point yet how dangerous it is for dogs to have. We know that chimpanzees can carry it and also pass it. We know that there are other animals. We don't have enough studies done yet to know if dogs can or cannot pass it, but we know that they can have it in their urine, in their feces, in their drool. And animals, dogs, pets, that's what they do. They pass that around.
And that is a concern, Vanessa.
Yeah.
That is a concern. This is the whole issue, is that the virus getting out of a biological system into the environment and into another biological system.
It's a very valid concern, and we're all sitting here wanting us to quarantine people immediately when they get off planes, but we won't do anything about this dog, and we're in an outrage and we're in uproar. People are dying of Ebola. If we need to take this one dog out, and yes, I love dogs. I adopted a dog. I understand that dogs are family members. I get that, but we don't have enough information, and at this point, it may be a knee-jerk reaction, but it's one that needs to happen because we don't know if this dog can carry it. We don't even know if we have the technology to detect it in dogs. Like, we just have to be safe.
That's right.
Okay. Really quickly, listen, if the dog really did have Ebola, of course, I do think that the dog should have been put down, especially for his own...
didn't they find Ebola? They didn't detect it?
I don't think they actually even tested the dog, nor did they quarantine the dog properly. At least give the dog the benefit of the doubt. This poor girl, the owner of the dog, is fighting for her life. If that were me, I would want to continue to be sedated because my best friend...
I think all those protesters should go over to the bullfighting ring and try to stop bullfighting in Spain.
I agree. 100% agree with you, Jane.